The rain hammered the pavement like bullets. Zara stood under the metro station awning, watching her ride cancel on the cracked phone screen. Her glasses lay somewhere in a puddle behind her, drowned and useless. Everything blurred. Car lights bled into the darkness. She had 30 minutes to reach Wade Technologies for the pitch that would save her dying career. A black car pulled to the curb. Sleek, right color, right shape. She ran. The door opened. She collapsed inside, gasping, rain streaming down her face. Warm leather, cedar and sandalwood. Safe. Thank God, she breathed. I thought I'd drown out there. I think there's been a mistake. The voice was wrong. Deep male, calm. Zara's blood froze. She blinked hard, trying to focus. A man sat in the shadows beside her. Expensive suit, broad shoulders, watching her. Oh no. I'm so sorry. I can't see without my glasses, and I thought you were my ride, and the rain, she grabbed for the door handle. Wait. His hand didn't touch her, but his voice stopped her cold. Where do you need to go? The business district. Wade Technologies. But I'll call another car. I'm sorry. You'll wait an hour in this storm. He leaned forward. Sharp cheekbones. Dark eyes. I'm heading that direction. Let me give you a ride. I can't accept rides from strangers. Then let's not be strangers. She heard the smile in his voice. I'm Julian. And you are soaked, mostly. The words escaped before she could stop them. I'm Zara. Nice to meet you, Zara. Now close the door before you flood my car. The driver pulled into traffic. Rain pounded the roof. Zara sat frozen, dripping onto expensive leather, her heart hammering against her ribs. This was insane. This was dangerous. This was the best mistake she'd ever made. Julian turned slightly. Even through her blurred vision, she felt his eyes on her. So, he said softly. Tell me about this presentation that's worth breaking into strangers' cars for. And against every instinct screaming at her to stay quiet, to stay safe, Zara started talking. The words spilled from her like confession. Design philosophy, branding, vision, corporate authenticity. She talked with her hands, forgot her soaked clothes, forgot the stranger listening in the darkness. You really love what you do, Julian said. Is it that obvious? It's refreshing. Most people I meet treat work like a prison sentence. Something heavy lived in those words. Zara squinted at him, wishing desperately she could see his face clearly. What about you? She asked. What do you do when you're not rescuing stranded designers? I work in tech. Vague, guarded. Not as creative as your work. The car slowed. Through the rain-streaked windows, a massive building rose into the storm. All glass and steel and money. Wade Technologies, the driver announced. Zara grabbed her portfolio. Her hands shook. Thank you. Really. You saved my career tonight. I hope the presentation goes well. Julian's voice carried something she couldn't name. Warmth. Knowing. Something tells me they'd be foolish not to hire you. That's kind. She reached for the door, paused. I didn't catch your last name. Just Julian is fine. Good luck, Zara. She stepped into the drizzle, turned back to wave. But the tinted windows showed only shadows. The car pulled away, smooth and silent. Inside Wade Technologies, Zara found a bathroom, attempted damage control, bought emergency contact lenses from a pharmacy. She made it to the conference room with 3 minutes to spare. Mr. Wade will be with you shortly, the receptionist said. Wade. As in Wade Technologies. As in the founder. The door opened. Julian walked in. Perfect suit, reading glasses. Same warm eyes that had watched her in the car. Not just Julian. Julian Wade. Billionaire. CEO. The man she was supposed to impress. He'd known the entire time. He'd known. Miss Patel. His voice carried that same warmth, now edged with barely contained amusement. What a pleasant surprise. Though I suppose I should say, what a pleasant disaster. Zara's mind raced. Heat flooded her face. Embarrassment. Anger. Something else she refused to name. You knew, she said, finding her voice. Where I was going, who I was meeting. And you said nothing. Julian walked closer. Too close. She could see him clearly now with her contacts. Devastatingly handsome. Completely unrepentant. Would you have accepted the ride if I'd told you? That's not the point. Isn't it? He set his briefcase down. You were drowning in a storm, Zara. Late for the most important meeting of your career. I offered help. Would knowing my name have changed your need? It would have changed everything. Exactly. He smiled, not cruel, something softer. Now I know you. Not the polished version you prepared for this meeting. The real you. Passionate. Brilliant. Resourceful enough to hijack a stranger's car. I didn't hijack. Shall we begin? He gestured to the presentation screen. I'm very interested to hear your vision for Wade Technologies. Something tells me it's going to be extraordinary. Zara stared at him. At this man who'd held all the power, all the knowledge, and let her talk freely in the dark. Who'd listened like she mattered before he knew if her designs were any good. She had two choices. Walk out with her dignity intact and her career in ruins, or play his game and see where it led. Zara set down her portfolio, lifted her chin. Let's begin. 3 months later, Zara's designs hung in every Wade Technologies office worldwide. Her name appeared in industry magazines. Her bank account finally had commas in it. And Julian Wade called her at midnight. Are you awake? His voice came through her phone rough and tired. I am now. Zara sat up in bed, heart already racing. They'd fallen into this. Late-night calls, coffee meetings that stretched into dinner, his hand on her back in crowded rooms. Moments that felt like more but never quite crossed the line. I need to see you. Julian. It's midnight. Please. 20 minutes later, she stood in his penthouse. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooked the glittering city. Julian paced like a caged animal, still in his work clothes, tie loosened, hair disheveled. What's wrong? Zara asked. He turned. Something broken lived in his eyes. I'm selling the company. The words hit like a fist. What? A merger. Hartman Industries. They're offering $4 billion. The board's already approved it. We announce Monday. Zara's mind spun. But Wade Technologies is your life. Your father's legacy. My father's legacy is killing me. Julian's voice cracked. Do you know what it's like? Every decision measured against a dead man's expectations. Every innovation compared to his genius. I can't breathe, Zara. I haven't breathed in 10 years. She moved closer. So you run. I survive. He looked at her with raw desperation. Come with me. What? After the merger. I'm leaving. Going somewhere no one knows my name. Somewhere I can figure out who Julian Wade is when he's not standing in his father's shadow. He caught her hands. Come with me. Julian. I can't just. You can. Your contract ends with the merger. You're free. We could go to Italy, Greece, anywhere. His grip tightened. These 3 months with you, they're the only time I've felt like myself. Not the CEO, not the heir. Just me. Zara's heart hammered. You're asking me to give up everything I've built. I'm asking you to build something new. With me. She stared at him. At this brilliant, broken man who'd given her everything and was now asking for the one thing she couldn't give. I need time to think. We don't have time. The announcement is Monday. After that, everything changes. He pulled her closer. Tell me you feel this too. Tell me I'm not alone in this. You're not alone, she whispered. But? His phone buzzed. Then hers. Then his again, insistent and angry. Julian checked the screen. His face went white. What? Zara asked. He turned the phone to her. A news headline blazed across the screen: Wade Technologies merger leaked. Insider trading scandal. Patel Designs under investigation. Zara's blood turned to ice. No. Someone leaked the merger details. The SEC is investigating. They're saying, Julian scrolled, his face a mask of horror. They're saying you used your access to my confidential information. That you sold company secrets to Hartman Industries. That's insane. I would never. I know that. He grabbed her shoulders. But someone set you up, Zara. Someone who knew about us, about the merger, about everything. Her phone rang. Her lawyer, then a reporter, then another. The room spun. Her entire career, everything she'd worked for, burning down in real time. Who would do this? She whispered. Julian's jaw clenched. He looked at his phone again, scrolling through messages. Then he stopped, went completely still. Julian? He looked up at her, and in his eyes, she saw something that broke her. Guilt. You need to leave, he said quietly. What? No, we need to figure out who. Zara. His voice went cold. Professional. The CEO voice he never used with her. You need to leave my home now. Why? What did you see on that phone? He turned away, wouldn't meet her eyes. If they find you here, it makes everything worse. The investigation, the accusations. I don't care about the investigation. Julian, look at me. He didn't. What did you see? Her voice cracked. What aren't you telling me? Silence stretched between them like broken glass. Julian, please. After everything, you owe me the truth. The truth? He laughed, bitter and broken. The truth is I've destroyed you. Everything you've worked for, your reputation, your career. All because you got close to me. That's not an answer. It's the only answer I can give. He finally looked at her, and his eyes were empty. Please go. No. Not like this. Not without. The evidence trail leads back to my assistant. The words came out flat, dead. Marcus. He had access to everything. The merger details, your contract, our meetings. All of it. Zara's mind raced. Marcus. Julian's right hand for 5 years. The man who brought them coffee, scheduled their dinners, knew every detail of their working relationship. Marcus set me up? Why? I don't know. But something in Julian's voice said he was lying. You're protecting him. I'm protecting you. By pushing me away? Anger flared hot in her chest. By treating me like a liability? You are a liability. The words cut like knives. To yourself. Being connected to me right now, it's poison. The SEC, the media, they'll tear you apart looking for answers. Then we face it together. No. He moved to the door, opened it. You face it alone. That's the only way you survive this. Zara stared at him. At the man who'd asked her to run away with him 20 minutes ago, now throwing her out like yesterday's trash. I don't understand. You don't need to understand. You need to leave. She grabbed her bag, walked to the door. Stopped inches from him. Look at me, she said. He did. And for just a second, she saw it. The truth swimming in his eyes, desperate and drowning. You know who did this, she whispered. And you're protecting them. Go, Zara. Why? Because if you stay, they'll destroy you too. His voice broke. And I can't watch that happen. She left. The door closed behind her with a sound like a coffin lid. In the elevator, her phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. Meet me. Pier 9. 1 hour. I have proof of who framed you. Come alone. Zara's hands shook. She should call her lawyer. Should call the police. Should do anything except walk into an obvious trap. The elevator doors opened. She walked toward the parking garage, toward Pier 9, toward answers that would cost her everything. Pier 9 stretched into darkness, lit only by dying street lamps. Fog rolled off the water, thick and suffocating. Zara's footsteps echoed on wet wood. A figure waited at the end. As she got closer, her blood froze. Not Marcus. Victoria Chen. Wade Technologies' chief operating officer. Julian's mentor. The woman who'd championed Zara's hiring, praised her work, invited her to executive dinners. Victoria? Thank you for coming. Victoria's voice was calm, measured. She held a manila envelope. I wasn't sure you would. You sent the text. You have proof? I have something better. I have the truth. Victoria opened the envelope, pulled out documents. The leak came from Julian's personal computer. His access codes. His digital signature on every file sent to Hartman Industries. Zara's world tilted. No. That's impossible. Julian wouldn't. Julian was going to destroy this company. Victoria's voice hardened. Sell it for parts to Hartman, pocket billions, and disappear. He told you as much tonight, didn't he? Asked you to run away with him? How did you? I've been monitoring his communications for months. Ever since his father died and he started making reckless decisions. Hiring you was just another symptom. A distraction. A pretty thing to play with while he dismantled everything his father built. Rage flooded Zara's veins. You framed me. I saved you. Victoria stepped closer. Julian was using you, Zara. Your access, your credentials, your closeness to him. He planted evidence on your accounts to cover his tracks. Made you the scapegoat. And when the SEC came knocking, he'd be on a beach in Greece while you rotted in prison. I don't believe you. Then explain this. Victoria pulled out another document. Bank records. Offshore accounts. Transactions dated over the past 3 months. $2 million transferred from a Hartman subsidiary to an account under your name. Julian set it up. He's been planning this from the moment he met you. The rain. The car. The too convenient rescue. He knew you'd be there that night, Victoria continued. Cancelled your ride himself. Waited in that exact spot. The whole meet-cute was manufactured, Zara. He needed someone clean, someone talented, someone he could frame when everything fell apart. Zara's knees went weak. She grabbed the pier railing. I'm giving you a choice, Victoria said. Work with me. Testify against him. Help me save this company and clear your name. Or protect the man who's been using you as a pawn since day one. Why would you help me? Because you're good at what you do. Because you deserve better than this. And because Julian Wade needs to pay for what he's done. Victoria's eyes glittered in the lamplight. I have leverage. SEC contacts. Evidence that proves he acted alone, that you were an unwitting accomplice. But I need your testimony. Your inside knowledge. Your willingness to stand up and tell the truth. Zara's mind raced. Every moment with Julian, re-examining it for lies. The way he'd known exactly where she'd be. The too perfect timing. His insistence she leave tonight before the investigation deepened. You're protecting them, she'd said. I'm protecting you, he'd answered. But which protection? The kind that saves, or the kind that buries? What do you need me to do? Zara heard herself ask. Victoria smiled. Sign here. Preliminary cooperation agreement with the SEC. Tomorrow morning, we hold a press conference. You tell your story. Julian goes down, and you walk away clean. She held out a pen. Zara reached for it. A voice cut through the fog. Don't. Julian emerged from the shadows, soaked from rain, breathing hard. He must have run the whole way from his penthouse. Zara, don't sign anything. Victoria's face twisted. You followed her. I protected her. Julian's eyes locked on Zara. Everything she told you is a lie. He's desperate, Victoria said smoothly. Trying to manipulate you one last time. Victoria set up the offshore accounts. She leaked the merger details. She's been embezzling from Wade Technologies for 2 years, and the Hartman deal would have exposed her. Julian moved closer, hands raised, pleading. I found the evidence tonight. That's why I sent you away. Not to abandon you, but to keep you clear of what's about to happen. He's lying, Victoria snapped. Then why are you holding a cooperation agreement that hasn't been notarized? That isn't on SEC letterhead? Julian gestured to the papers. Because it's fake, Zara. She's getting you to sign a confession, not a cooperation deal. Zara looked at the document in Victoria's hands. At Julian, drenched and desperate. At Victoria, perfectly composed. Who do I believe? She whispered. Julian pulled out his phone. Call Detective Sarah Morrison. Badge number 4187. She's waiting at the precinct with actual SEC investigators. They know everything. They have Victoria's real bank records, her communications with Hartman executives. I spent the last 3 hours giving my statement. He's stalling, Victoria said. But something cracked in her voice. Call her, Zara. Please. Before you sign anything, just make one phone call. Zara's finger hovered over her phone. Victoria's hand moved to her coat pocket. Julian saw it the same moment Zara did. His eyes went wide. Victoria, don't. The gun came out smooth and cold. Nobody moves, Victoria said. The gun pointed at Zara. Nobody calls anyone. Julian stepped between them. This isn't you, Victoria. My father trusted you. Your father used me. Venom dripped from every word. 20 years building this company, watching him take credit for my innovations, my strategies. And when he died, who got the empire? His spoiled son who wanted to throw it all away. So you decided to steal it, Julian said. I decided to take what's mine. The Hartman deal was perfect. Sell the company, move the embezzled funds offshore, disappear. But you started digging. Started asking questions. So I needed a scapegoat. She smiled at Zara. Lucky me, you fell into his car like a gift from heaven. You cancelled my ride, Zara whispered. I cancelled a lot of things. Your references, too. Made sure Wade Technologies was your only option. Made sure Julian would see your portfolio. I know him better than anyone. I knew he'd fall for the tragic, talented artist routine. Julian's fists clenched. The SEC doesn't know half of what I've buried. But they will. Right after I finish here. Victoria's finger moved to the trigger. Tragic murder-suicide. CEO kills the designer he was having an affair with, then himself. Guilt over the insider trading scandal. It writes itself. They'll investigate, Zara said. They'll find exactly what I want them to find. I've been covering tracks for 2 decades. You think 2 bodies will slow me down? Julian shifted, muscles coiling. Victoria, please. Shut up. The gun swung to him. You had everything. Everything your father built, everything I helped create. And you wanted to walk away. You disgust me. Zara saw her opening. While Victoria's attention locked on Julian, while the gun pointed away, she could run. Call for help. Save herself. Julian's eyes met hers. In them, she saw no expectation. No demand. Just acceptance. He'd put himself between her and the gun, and he'd die there if it meant she lived. The man who'd rescued her from the rain. Who'd listened to her dreams in the dark. Who'd given her everything and asked for nothing except that she be real with him. Who'd sent her away tonight to protect her, even knowing it would break them both. Zara made her choice. She lunged. Not away from the gun, but toward it. Grabbed Victoria's wrist, yanked hard. The weapon discharged, deafening in the fog. The bullet went wild into the water. Julian crashed into them both. All 3 bodies slammed against the pier railing. Wood cracked. Splinters flew. The gun skittered across wet planks. Victoria's elbow caught Zara's jaw. Stars exploded behind her eyes. Julian pinned Victoria's arms, but she fought like something feral, desperate. Go! Julian shouted at Zara. Run! But Zara grabbed the gun. Hands shaking, barrel pointed at the struggling figures. Stop! Both of you, stop! They froze. Victoria and Julian tangled together at the edge of the pier, one wrong move from falling into black water below. Sirens wailed in the distance. Growing closer. They're coming, Zara said. It's over, Victoria. Victoria laughed, broken and bitter. You think you won? You think this ends clean? She looked at Julian. They'll investigate everything now. Every deal, every transaction. Your father's legacy, all the things I helped him hide. The offshore accounts. The bribes. The corners cut. They'll tear it all down. Julian's face went pale. That's right, Victoria hissed. Your precious father wasn't a saint. And I have proof of all of it. Destroy me, and I destroy him. Make your choice. The sirens grew louder. Red and blue lights flickered through the fog. Julian? Zara whispered. He looked at her. At this woman who'd thrown herself into danger to save him. Who'd chosen him over her own safety. Who'd seen him at his worst and stayed. Let them come, he said quietly. Let them find everything. No more secrets. No more shadows. You'll lose it all, Victoria spat. I already lost what mattered. His eyes never left Zara. I almost lost her. The police arrived in a wave of sound and movement. Detective Morrison took Victoria into custody. Took Zara's statement. Took the gun as evidence. 2 weeks later, the story broke. Not just Victoria's embezzlement, but everything beneath it. The complicated truth of Wade Technologies' foundation. The moral compromises. The gray areas where genius met greed. Julian's father's legacy crumbled. The company survived, restructured, transparent. Julian stepped down as CEO, passed control to an independent board. Zara's name cleared. Her career reborn. Bigger firms called. Better offers came. She turned them all down. At sunset on Pier 9, Julian found her standing where Victoria had held them at gunpoint. "You shouldn't be here alone," he said. "I'm not alone." She turned to face him. "Not anymore. The trial starts next month. It's going to be ugly. I'll be there." "Zara, you don't have to." "I know." She stepped closer. "That's why I'm doing it. Not because I have to. Because I choose to." He reached for her hand. She let him take it. "I sold the penthouse," Julian said. "Gave most of the merger money to the employees whose pensions Victoria stole. I have enough left to start over. Somewhere small. Somewhere quiet." "That sounds nice. I was hoping you'd come with me." He pulled her closer. No pressure. No expectations. Just two people who've survived the worst and want to see what comes next. Zara looked at him. At the man who'd shattered and rebuilt himself. Who'd chosen truth over legacy. Who'd almost died protecting her. "Yes," she said simply. "Yes? Yes, I'll come with you. Yes, I choose this. Yes to all of it." He kissed her then, soft and desperate and real. The fog rolled around them, the city lights glittered beyond, and somewhere in the distance, sirens sang their endless song. But here, now, they were just two broken people who'd found each other in the rain and decided that sometimes the best way forward is together. They left the pier hand in hand, walked toward whatever came next, and didn't look back. 6 months later, in a small town in northern Italy, Zara opened a design studio in a renovated villa. Julian worked beside her, not as CEO or heir, but as partner. Equal. Real. They'd lost everything that didn't matter and found the one thing that did. Each other. The end.